Hi, it's Jay, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a blog post on WordPress with the Elementor page builder. So let's say you're a virtual assistant and I pass you an article, or let's say you got an article for your client and you want to create a blog post. So this is how you want to do it. So over here, once you log into the WordPress website, this is the dashboard. This is what you will see. Head over to posts and click on add new post. You should already have this article written. So this video is not going to be about how to write an article. It's like the article is already written. It might be written by you, it might be written by somebody else. I'm just going to show you how to create a blog post out of it. Okay, so frankly, I do not use the WordPress editor. I think it's very not nice to use. That being said, what I'll usually do is I'll create the page title with the headline and I'll click publish. Okay, that's just showing you how I do it. Okay, it's going to have an address. We won't bother about stuff like this at the moment. But you can always click on view post to check it out, how it looks like. Okay, I recommend opening it in a new video. So what we did, we just did two things. Using the headline, we created the heading, the title for this page. So this annoys me a little. I'll have to go and change it. I might actually do this do it in the video because it really distracts me. Heck, we'll just do it now quickly. So a little bonus here. If you want to change the top part of the website. Okay, the shortcut is just to press this button. Okay. Click publish and yeah. Because if something it's this, I just keep thinking of it instead of thinking what to say. Alright, so fix one problem. So that's a little bonus there. Okay, back to the task. So what we did was two things. One, we have the heading here. Next is we have notice this URL is actually this. So if you just head over here and enter, copy paste this, WordPress is going to use this as the headline. You can see the link is exactly the same. If you like to change it, of course you can press the edit button and manually change it, but I like to keep it that way. Okay, that is me. I like to keep it that way. So we're not going to use this as a page builder. You can, but I really don't like to use it, so let's not use it. If you do it our way, it's going to be head over to click this button, edit with Elementor. So it will load a new page, and we're going to use better tools to do the task. Okay, so this also is going to be a very easy way how to use Elementor. Now the title here is already done. We do not need to bother about it. This is created outside the page builder. This text is also created outside the page builder. This post is marked as, I might as well just show you, because if let's say you're new to WordPress, I think you're going to ask that question and you're going to I don't want you to get confused. That's the okay. So under categories, I picked Texas, which is why it shows up. Okay, but I can always pick more than one category depending on the article. All right, it really depends on the article. It's not so much on Houston, so I'll just leave it as Texas. But okay, since it's an example, I'll just show you what happens if I check more than one category. Update it, just wait for this to load. Okay, now if I want to edit it, just now it's I click on the button over here, edit with Elementor, but since I already started using Elementor, it's over here. So We click Elementor to use Elementor to build the page. Okay, from here it's pretty simple. Right, you can see the category has been updated. Just now it was only Texas, now it's Texas and Houston. Alright, so back to the easy part. This is how I like to do it. I like to insert the text over here. Okay, before I do it this way. So Elementor is this page builder, have a lot of different blocks, a lot of different widgets, whatever they want to call it. They call it elements over here. There are many elements which you can use. So just to create blocks, we're going to use very simple stuff like image and text editor, and that's about it. If you are building a sales page, landing page, it's going to be different, but this is just to create a block. It's just to keep things simple, right? So I like to add this text. I like to add text because, like, guess what? This is text. Okay. So before I proceed, what I like to do is I like to make sure the text color is black. It's easier to read that way, right? So I'm just gonna pick black over here. Now the reason why I like to edit it up front instead of doing it after each paragraph, for example. Okay, some people will like create everything and go and edit the color. But since I'm just going to use one color, I prefer to have all the settings and I can just duplicate this, right? Duplicate means copy and paste. Copy and paste together, both two actions, alright? So I like to just duplicate. That is my way of doing it. It's a bit faster, right? So speaking of copy and paste, the article is already written. We do not need to write it. Of course, you can proofread it if there's any errors. Just go ahead and correct them. So here is, first I'm just going to do the copy and paste work first. Okay. I like to copy and paste each paragraph differently. Alright, so this is a bit different. So for stuff like this, usually what I'll do is I'll insert a heading. Okay, it's a different element here. Just now I was using text editor, now I'm using heading. I'll head over to heading, and usually like this kind of heading, I'll just use heading 3. To really optimize this for SEO, actually, you're not supposed to do that, but you know. I'll have a separate training on SEO. This is just to put the blog up, right? Okay. And it's just, from here it's just copy and paste work. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I'm going to show you some shortcuts which I like to use. Now this is an entire section. You can actually even go ahead and duplicate the entire section. Now why do I want to do that? It's because from here it's always a one heading text. Sorry, one heading text, one heading text, one heading text. Since it's going to be that way, I might as well just duplicate everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are 5 options. All right. So we go ahead and copy and paste all the options. Some people say I work too fast. If you feel the speed is too fast, you can always slow down this video on YouTube and watch it at half speed or 0.25 speed. It's all just copy and paste work. I mean, like, come on. What I'm doing is I triple click. If you triple click, it selects the whole paragraph. Some applications, when you triple click, it selects everything, so just be aware of that. And there's a final paragraph here, so click it. Now, when things are too simple, sometimes it's easy to make mistakes, which is why I'll cross-check my work to make sure I didn't make any mistakes when I'm copy and pasting. You know what? I'll just put it over here. Like I have two monitors. It makes it easier to work. Like it really helps. When you can afford it, it's worth considering. Okay, paragraph 1, paragraph 2. I'm just reading the first part of the paragraph. Now here is a bit hard to read. So what I do is I can insert a little space here. It doesn't have to be 50, it can be just be 20. Alright, so now it's the same. File for bankruptcy, typically filing for bankruptcy. Now because I paste the entire paragraph, I'm just going to check the starting. But wait, COVID. If you can view option 1, file for bankruptcy. Option 2, reaffirm. Option 2, reaffirm, reaffirming. Option 3, if your mortgage meets requirements. Option 4, negotiate with bank. Option 4, negotiate with bank, like previous mentioned lenders. When you're doing proofreading, it's good to just read out the text, because when you read, you might not be able to catch errors. But when you read and you mention it, it's less likely that your brain auto-corrects the mistake. Okay, just a little tip there. Option number 5, borrow money if you are months behind on payments. Borrow money if you're months behind on payments. Final paragraph, COVID. Alright, because here I did not insert the space, so yeah. Okay, I can pretty much click update. Just wait for this to load. Give it a few seconds. Then you refresh the page. It should be all here. Okay, so that's about it. How to create a blog post. Now this is going to be part 1 of a multi-part series. In the next part, I'm going to show you how to add images, because frankly, if it's all text, it's very boring. Nobody is going to read all of this. You want some images to make the page more lively, makes your website looks better. When the website looks better, I mean, your client is more impressed. It just multiplies the perceived value of the work. On top of that, Google also like to rank websites that have more visitors, that are more shared around. If you want to have more visitors, you want your post to be shared around more on Facebook, you need to have images. So that is very important. Okay, and I guess that's all for this paragraph. Now you're supposed to do some proofreading. I already done it once, so I'm not going to go over it here. But like if you have Microsoft Word, most of the proofreading is already, I mean, the typos generally done. But if you are helping me out, I expect you to just go and read the article once. Okay, just make sure there's no errors before you submit the work. Okay, anyway, I'll see you in the step 2. Okay, so welcome to part 2 of how to create a blog article. In this part, it's going to be about adding images. Now I'll show you how I add images, where to go and get it, and how you want to add the image to the website. Alright, so let's just proceed. So there are many free image sites. In fact, if you are a freelancer working with me, then I'll give you a list of sites to go get the image from. You can't just, okay, this is what you shouldn't do, especially if you are helping me out, right? So this is what not to do. Alright, you go to Google, you type for an image. You click on images, you see an image, and you copy and paste. That is like the best way to get fired. So don't do that. Alright. All of these images, they are copyrighted images. Okay, you can't just take it and use it on your own project or your client's project. Just to give you some additional info, there's usage rights here. Sometimes you can come over here and Creative Commons, and if it's on Wiki, yeah, you can get away with using that, but I don't want anyone to like do this. It's a bad habit. So what we want to do is we'll go and get images from the right places. So the right place to get all of this image is actually royalty free stock images. Okay, now Shutterstock, you need to pay 123 RF, you need to pay, yeah, all of this you need to pay. The good thing about these sites, we can just have a look. I'll just use the same keyword, foreclosure, since this is a foreclosure project. Image here are pretty good. You can just use these images for you can even use these images for ads. That's how good these images are. But they all cost money. Okay, so if you are a freelancer, I imagine, especially if you are a freelancer on your own, when you're starting out, you don't have that much cash. So maybe all of these premium images, paid images, might not be. You might not have the budget to do that, especially if you don't know how to price your services well enough to cover for that. I mean, I understand, that's how I started. When I started, I can't afford to go and buy these images, and yeah, so the website, the stuff, actually everything looks a bit worse, which is why sometimes like, you can tell your client, like, there's a reason why we charge a bit more, so we can use tools and materials which are, we can use paid tools and paid materials. That's the reason why these things, they charge a fee, is because they are just better. Right, so you can see here the images are actually pretty good. Okay, Shutterstock frankly is just a bit better, but here it's okay. It's not the best, but it doesn't cost as much. Okay, 123 RF. It's one of my main sources for images. But if you're going to be a starting freelancer, chances are you're going to use free options like Pixabay. So you can see the images here, just not as good. There's no other way to put it, but it's free. When it's free, you can just it's frankly, to me this is so bad, I don't even know what I can use. When you see these images, they look very nice. These are not Pixabay images. These are, if you click on it, it's for another stock. It's for another website. You have to pay for it. Okay, just to let you know. So let's say you found a nice image on Pixabay. Let's say, okay. So you choose a size to download. Now, if you're going to use it for blog images, you don't need a very, very large size. Typically, anything around 1-200 kilobytes is good. In fact, if the image is very large, the website actually loads slower, and that is a bad thing. So for blog images, use something around 100-200 kilobyte. It's okay. This is like 300 or whatever. It's still better than 600. So what I'll just download this. Download. Okay. I guess it's been a while since I downloaded the file here. Save it. Okay. So I've saved this file. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna insert the file over here. So where should I insert the image? Generally, this is a guideline. It's not set in stone, means it depends on the situation. But generally, you want your image to be what we call above the fold. So what does above the fold means? Means when the visitor lands on the page, without scrolling down, they can see the image. It doesn't mean they have to see the whole image, but at least they can see it. Okay, so let me do that again. Over here at the elements, there's an image here. So if you're doing a blog post, you just need to use text editor, heading, image, 3 of it. That's about it. All right. So use image over here, drag and drop. So I'm going to pick the image which I just downloaded. Okay, it's obviously not in this library, so I have to upload it. Let me do that quickly. Okay, so the image has been uploaded. There it is. Okay, this is the most basic requirement, but you know, I don't usually like just do basic. We want to do a good job. So you have to know this website, like what are the keywords they are trying to optimize for. Keywords mean, I mean, this is slowly turning to a SEO class. But what does keywords mean? Means, let's say I'm typing foreclosure. We want this website to rank when somebody is typing for the right keywords. Okay, that's the short version. So since I'm going to try to rank for foreclosure, and this website is foreclosure in Texas. Texas is the state, so I will just say foreclosure in Texas. Okay, this is a very basic way of doing it. There are actually like other ways you want to do it. So, but at the very least, let's say it's going. This article, the keyword is foreclosure in Texas. Then I'll paste it on alt text. I'll use it on title. You don't need to use it on caption. You can use it on description. Okay. But I guess I'll just keep this simple. Okay, so just paste the keyword over here. If you don't know what is the keyword, just ask the person who written the article. Usually they will know what is they will inform you what is the keyword for it. Okay, else with some experience you'll know what type of keyword they are trying to use. Now this is a little tip, even though the article is written here. Okay, but I just give you a tip. If your first paragraph is going to be like not easy to read, if it's not 2 or 3 lines, there's a good chance people are going to skip. So what I want to do is I want to make this paragraph easier to read. So a very simple trick is I'm going to split this paragraph into 2 sections. So I read this paragraph and I know like this is a good place to split it off. Okay, before the last year 1 in 25 Americans. So I'm just going to delete it. Okay, now this is much easier to read. At least it feels easier to read. And I'm just going to do this is something bonus because I want people to continue to read. Now this is where you use a little like copywriting skill, just to tell people what are the numbers. So I want to put a small headline here. Yes, I know this is like the headline, but this is like just to make it attract people, to keep the attention, because this is, you have to think yourself as the website viewer. When you come to this page, what do you want to see? If you see like all of this text, no image, like chances are people are not going to click it. People are not going to read it. We want people to stay on the site. We want people to read it. So here are some things that I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to say something that tells them they're at the right place. So okay, so here we say it's this foreclosure means people losing their house is getting this situation is happening more and more. So you are not alone. Why I use this is because I'm going to say a lot of people have this problem. So yeah, just a simple line, you are not alone, helps to keep people on the website longer. So once I click update, now the image is going to appear here. Okay, and just as a extra step, after you publish a blog post or a landing page, don't just check it on your computer, don't just check it on your laptop, check it on your phone, because most people browse websites nowadays on the phone, so it must look okay on the phone. So don't skip that step, right? Check your work with that. And this is how I add an image to the WordPress to the WordPress blog. Not only just adding it, I'm also throwing in some optimizations there. Alright, so that is going to be part 2 of a multi-part series on how to create a blog. Hi, it's Jay, and this is going to be part 3 on how to create a WordPress blog entry. Now this is going to be built on step 2. Now step 2, I show you how to insert an image, and just now when we download it, I'm not too happy that this file size is quite large, like 300 kilobytes. It's on the large size. So this step, most people, they don't do it, but I want to do good work for my clients. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size of this image. I'm going to shrink the image size without making the image look terrible. So what does that do is it speeds up the website loading speed. And when we are doing any blog pages, landing pages, sales pages, any web pages, fast loading speed is very, very important. It's very, very important because if the page loads very slow, we will lose visitors. Your clients will not get the benefit. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I make this image smaller, and by making the image smaller, I speed up the website loading speed. And you don't even need to use any tools because there's a website called TinyJPG, or you can use TinyPNG. It's the same. I like to just use TinyPNG. So what you do is you have a file, you upload the file to this website. This website will compress the file, make it smaller. Okay, we'll see how much it can make the file smaller. Sometimes 30%, sometimes 50%, sometimes more than 50%. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it. Come over here, I pick the file which I just downloaded. It's 300 kilobytes. So after compressing, it's 160. It's about half the size. So just by doing this, I managed to save a lot of space for my client. Okay, so once you have this, once you download the file, head over to the website here and use the new file. A very simple step, but this step most people, they don't do it because like a lot of people are just very lazy. So don't be lazy. Okay, put some effort in your work. Same thing for foreclosure in Texas. Okay, now since this is a new step, I'm just going to do a bit extra. Just now I just did the bare minimum, which is to put the keywords. I mean, frankly, a lot of people don't even name this correctly, but I'm just going to add some information to describe this image, to tell you're basically telling two people what this image is about. Number one, you're telling Google what is this image, which is very good because Google, they will go through the website and try to see like, who is this for, what is this article about. So the more you tell your Google about your website, the better. It's better than showing like whatever this is. Let's just imagine the word insolvency isn't around. If this is like these numbers, JPG, Google doesn't know what this is about. So let's help Google to understand what we're trying to tell people. Right, so I'll even like, okay, so they have the word insolvency. It's actually relevant. So, okay, what's going on? Copy. Insolvency sign. Foreclosure in Texas. Okay, just add a little because foreclosure in Texas is a very, very common. It's a very, very common keyword. So let's just add a little to be a bit more special. So you can even see like before this, the image size is 300. Now it is 160. So we just like it looks the same to the human eyes. It looks the same, but you just managed to cut the image size by half. Can you imagine if there are few images and you just reduce the page size by half? The loading speed is going to be so much faster, and it's just good practice. Okay, if you're running ads to this page, there's going to be more people who take action. Okay, so very important. If you are doing work for me, I expect all of the images that you put on the website to be the size optimized. Okay, once again, a very quick recap. Come over to tinyjpg.com, upload the file, press compress. I'll do it one more time. Upload the file. It will automatically compress. You don't even need to press. Upload the file, click download, head over to Elementor, upload the new file. Okay, very simple, but these are the things that separate the good freelancers and the not so good freelancers. I think 3 parts is enough to cover how to create a blog. If there are going to be other elements, I think that will fall under the advanced class of building a page. So yeah, you might want to head over there after this. Hi, it's Jay here with a bonus section on how to create a WordPress blog. Now this is actually quite important, but it is a bit complicated, so I just leave it as a bonus. If you can do this, it's gonna be like very good, because seems to be a lost art. A lot of blogs nowadays, they don't do this. Now, what is it? Essentially, a table of contents where somebody press this, they can jump to the correct place. Option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, and of course option 5. So this is something when you press, it will go to the correct place. So how do we do this? I'm just going to make it very simple. Now I'll show you what is done, then I'll just show you step by step. Essentially, the first thing you need to do is you need to let the website know which is section number 1, which is number 2, which is number 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how you do that is you come over here and there's something called an anchor. Take the anchor, you drop it where you want to place it. So let's say I'm just going to place it all the way at the end here. Next, you need to name your anchor. Now I like to be a bit more systematic, so since this page is about 5 options, I'm just going to call it option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, and option 5 over here. Okay, this, since it's not an option, I'll just say end, because it's the end, or we can just say conclusion. Okay, let's just say conclusion, and I'll even copy the. Okay, I'll show you why you want to copy this. Okay, next you head over and create the link. Now, how to create table of contents? I mean, just drag and drop. Table of contents. I do not want to make it any heading, so I'll just put paragraph. But putting it as a paragraph doesn't mean you can't adjust the size. So like here is how you adjust the size. So let's just make it maybe 24 sounds good. I can also change the color over here. Okay, so I'll just make it black. In fact, like, let's just use this new table of contents. I like this a bit more. Okay, table of contents. Do I want to use the original color? Come to think about it, I might want to use the original color. So I'm just going to this is why when I do work, I like to have a notepad around so I can easily copy and paste many things. Now, let's say you made a change and you're not very happy with it. How do you undo? In Elementor, there's this history button over here. Come over here and you can revert the changes you made. See? It's like a time travel machine. It's basically undo in Microsoft Office, right? It's a neat little feature. So let's say I want to use this the same color. Wait, what? Yeah, only one hash. Okay. So yeah, table of contents. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do is, okay, let's just assume this thing doesn't exist. I'll just put it here for the moment. Now I need to create a table of contents. What I'm gonna do is I need to have a text section. The text section, now where am I going to get the text? I'm just going to refer to the original document because everything is already here. So instead of typing, I like to copy and paste because when you type, there's a chance there's going to be typo, and when you use Notepad, there's no spelling check. So I just copy and paste is a good way to avoid any mistakes. Now when you do a table of contents, if everything is in capital letter, it's like you're shouting to people. Number one, it's very rude. Number two, human eyes very hard to read everything capital letter. Just to prove a point, okay, side by side, you'll realize one is easier to read than another. Okay, which is why usually you want to make it easy to read. You do not capitalize everything. You do not make everything small letter. Also, it's hard to read. You capitalize the first letter of everything. I know in school they say this is wrong, but do it. It helps people to read your stuff. You want people to read your stuff, so that's how we do it. Now, everything is in capital letter. How can I change everything into the first letter? Is a first letter capital, and first letter is uppercase, and after that is lowercase. How do I do that? Once again, copy. You realize I seldom do things manually. I usually use tools. So what is this tool? Oh, it's convert case. Uppercase, lowercase. So convert case, come over here. Very easy to use. Come over here, just paste whatever you want to change it. And you can have sentence case, means the first letter is capital. Lowercase means everything is low. Uppercase is what we have before this. I use capitalized case. If you want to be funny, you can have like this. Title case. But this is what I use. Now you need to beware. Sometimes the abbreviations, the short forms will... You want to keep it all in capital letters. It's a agency name, okay, MHA, so that should all be in capital letters. So like, just go through the work and you will be able to avoid all of these mistakes. Okay, so we have this. Now how do we create the links? Now remember, just now we have these anchors. We have anchor 1, anchor 2, anchor 3, anchor 4, anchor 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So the code for this is you want to insert a link to this text. How do you insert a link? There is this button, insert edit link. Okay, I'll do it once again in slow motion. First, you click on the edit section. Once it's in this form, okay, in fact, I'll just make it over here larger so it's easier for you to see. Highlight what you want to turn into a link. Head over to this link, click on it. To create the jump to the anchor, it's a hash option 1. Why option 1 is because this is called option 1. This anchor is called option 1. This anchor is called option 2. This anchor is called option 3. Which is why I name it in a very systematic way. I do not simply name it ABC. Then it's very hard to link. Okay, so just think of the work before doing it. It really helps. Okay, what is this? Anyway, highlight, add the link, option 1. Press this apply, and now it's a link. Once again, press this, option 2, option 3, option 4, press this apply, option 5. Okay, I'm even going to like remove this because we no longer need it. Once you press update, you will want to go and test the link. Okay, we do not need this, we do not need this. Okay. So let's just say you want to test the page. What I recommend is you view the page separately. So this is how I do it. Shortcut. Okay, wait. Let's start here. Over this top left section, there's 3 lines. Click on it. There is this view page. Now, instead of clicking on view page, I like to right click, open link in new tab. So it's here. So if I see something there's an error, I can just jump back and edit. It's much faster. Rather than here, I click edit with Elementor, then it has to load, waste like 10 seconds. Like, I like to do work fast. Right? So, come over here, check your links. Okay, option 1, option 2. Now I'm hitting the home button on my keyboard, so it jumps all the way back. Okay, option 3, home button. 4. Okay, good. Instead of like scrolling, it's actually a bit slower. So there's a home button on the keyboard. That's how you use it for. Okay, option 5. I remember just now we have option 6. Yeah, conclusion. Alright, so this is called conclusion. Just for demo purpose, I'm just going to do it. Conclusion. Highlight this. Insert link. Remember the hashtag. Let's enter. Update. Wait for a few seconds, refresh the page. It's supposed to have a conclusion this time. Okay, if I press conclusion, it shows this part, right? But we do not need that, so I'm just going to remove it. If you are unsure, just click on this edit and make sure it's conclusion before you delete, just to be extra sure, right? And that is how you create a table of contents for the blog. So this makes it very useful. Now, why it's very useful? Because at a glance, when somebody comes to the website, immediately they can see what is this page about. Okay, and usually these are very important things. We want them to know, like, we're going to talk about all of this. So it's very good way of informing them why they should stay. Okay. Now, if they look at all of this and they're like, oh, I'm just going to skip, they're going to leave the web page no matter what, so it doesn't matter. Just tell people quickly what they're going to get from this page, okay? Just like in a video, what I like to do is, before I show my logo or whatever, I just couldn't tell people what they're going to be able to expect from in this by watching this video. So it's over here, it's the same. Now, once you have this table of contents, if the image doesn't appear above the fold, means they need to scroll around for the image. It's still okay, because like this is actually much better than the image. It tells people, the relevant audience, that you know why they should stay, what to expect. So this is very powerful. It's a bit more work to create compared to an image, but once you're used to it, it's pretty good. Okay, so this is how to create a table of contents, and yeah, that's how you do it. So thanks for watching. I hope you find this guide useful. Did it help you solve your problem? Comment below and let me know. Also, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you'll be notified every time I share a new video guide about how to work smart and have a good life as a freelancer.